Wow, it has been a crazy week for the crypto market. We have seen prices drop more than 15%, and the upcoming week is going to be just as rocky. So let's talk about it. This coming week in crypto, there's going to be a couple of very important dates that you need to be aware of. The first is going to be that Federal Reserve is set to have very important meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday of this coming week. This is going to be where they're going to talk about inflation, what their plans are moving forward, and according to Goldman Sachs, they're predicting that we're going to have at least 4 rate hikes this year. And during this meeting, if they say that maybe they're not going to be increasing rates as fast, we might see the market really take off and really skyrocket. But we're going to need to keep an eye out on these events because what they talk about in this Tuesday and Wednesday meeting is going to have big impacts on the market. Whether positive or negative, we don't know yet, but we need to be prepared and keep an eye out for these events. Second thing with the overall market is that right now we're seeing the overall crypto market sitting at $1.63 trillion market cap. We're seeing Bitcoin down 18%, Ethereum down almost 30%, and every single coin significantly down. But a couple of important things have happened with Bitcoin and technical indicators that you need to be aware of if you're invested in the market. And the first, pretty obvious, but we have seen Bitcoin's price fall dramatically below this falling wedge pattern that we saw. We broke below a key resistance of $40,000 per coin. You can see that as soon as we broke below $40,000, it just plummeted all the way down to $35,000 per coin. And the good news is that we do have a bit of a support at $35,000 that we've been able to maintain. Yes, we've dropped below it a couple of times to around $34,000, but we really have maintained this support right here with just a couple of wicks below that range, below $35,000. Important thing is this coming week with that Tuesday and Wednesday meeting, what we're going to need to be aware of is if it's negative news, if they're going to be increasing rates at a faster rate than we initially expected, we probably are going to see Bitcoin's price and the entire crypto market drop down to this next support, which is $30,000 per coin. But the good news is we have had such a strong support at this level. Institutions have historically bought a lot of crypto. This is where Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy have bought. There's going to be a lot of buying pressure at that $30,000 per coin range. So my opinion, you know what? Faster we drop, faster we're just going to start bouncing back and rallying because there's a lot of people, millions of people across the world who are just starting to get into crypto for the first time. But important things have happened with a couple of layer 1 cryptos over the last couple of days that have really changed my outlook on a couple of projects like Solana and Cardano and Cardano and Ethereum. And what has happened is that Solana has had a lot of good news and a lot of really unfortunate news as well. The good news is that Solana had seen $1 billion in total NFT sales. They crossed that $1 billion mark, which was huge, very important milestone. We're seeing that there's a lot of mass adoption taking place with Solana NFTs for the most part because people like lower fees, lower transaction fees on Solana and Ethereum. Gas fees are just ridiculous. They're too expensive. People don't like that. But the bad news is that a lot of people have been using Solana, which is great, but the bad news is that they experienced yet another issue with the network. And I talked about this on Twitter, so if you don't follow me there, make sure to follow me there. But the bad news is that they experienced more issues with their blockchain, and it was overloaded due to bots spamming the network over the last couple of days. What happened is they experienced network congestion yet again. And this is something that has been a recurring issue with Solana. They've had a couple of outages where the whole entire blockchain had to restart or was out for over 18 hours back in September of 2021. And the important thing here is that Solana is supposed to be a layer 1 crypto that's able to handle hundreds of thousands of transactions per second. It's supposed to be able to handle all of this volume, yet it has not. It has failed consistently. And while I do like Solana, I've been invested in it since February of 2021. The issue here is that we're seeing a lot of issues with Solana's blockchain not being able to handle as many transactions per second as they say it can. And yes, I get it, Solana is still a very new project, but it gets me a little bit concerned because there's a lot of other layer 1 cryptos out there like Cardano, like Polkadot, like Cardano, that are all coming for Solana and trying to be that number 2 crypto in terms of NFTs, trying to really compete with Ethereum. And if Solana keeps having these issues with network congestion, I would be a little bit hesitant about Solana moving forward. But one crypto in particular that has seen a lot of positive news come out recently has been with Cardano. Cardano has recently had a lot of great news come out. One thing in particular, other than SundaeSwap, their first DEX, was that they had Kick.io Launchpad, which is branding themselves as the new haven of Cardano venture capitalists. And essentially what this is, it's a launch pad that's going to be specifically focused on Cardano projects. And this is important because right now a lot of the money in crypto is made from investing in these early stage companies. So if you like Cardano, it's exciting to see that more and more projects are focusing on Cardano's blockchain. And like Kick.io, they're focused on specifically launching new Cardano projects. So this shows us that there's obviously demand from developers, there's a lot of demand from investors, and this is something that is very good news for Cardano. Other thing which we have talked about recently was with their Metaverse projects. We have seen a couple of new Metaverse crypto projects launch on Cardano's blockchain. One of the biggest ones was Pavia. We've talked about this. Pavia is a Cardano Metaverse project. They've already seen their virtual land plots explode in value, and I think this is showing us that Cardano really is competing and probably going to take a lot of market share away from Solana if Solana keeps having these issues. Cardano's having, NFT marketplaces explode, Metaverse projects explode, and it's going to really hurt Solana because Cardano has not had all of this negative news, all this negative sentiment around it. As of lately, Cardano has really been on the up. They've seen a lot of positive news, actually, as of recently. In terms of price for Cardano, we actually saw a fake out happen the other day where Cardano had all of the big announcements come out with SundaeSwap, their first DEX, had mainnet rolling out, its ISO rollout, and we saw Cardano's price rally over 50% from $1 per coin all the way up to over $1.60 per coin. Obviously, we saw the market tank, and since then it's come back down. But the great news here in terms of price analysis, a couple of things with TA, is that we are seeing Cardano's price maintain this $1 per coin support. We briefly wicked below it, dropped below it just briefly, but the important thing is that this has acted as a very strong support over the last year and a half for Cardano. And it's important to see that we have been able to maintain this. So as soon as the market sees a little bit of positive news, we see the market bounce back, I'm expecting Cardano to break back above that $1.50 per coin range. But right now, it still has maintained that key support of $1 per coin. And I think we're going to continue to see it trade sideways until we see some major news come out of the market. Yes, if it's negative, we're probably going to see just everything drop because you can't help that. But if there's anything positive, I'm expecting Cardano to rally very, very quickly because it's only had great news come out as of recently. But so that's what's really going on with the market. Make sure to keep an eye out for the Federal Reserve this coming week, what's going on there on Tuesday and Wednesday, because that's going to have some important impacts on the market. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to follow me on Twitter if you want additional content. I've been posting there multiple times a day. I really appreciate you joining us, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.